All right, let's dive into a pretty profound shift in thinking. This explainer is all about one person's journey, a journey from feeling like a tiny, separate piece of a puzzle to realizing they might just be the entire puzzle, just seen from one particular angle. So, let's start with a big one, a question aimed right at you. Who are you, really? I mean, beyond your name, your job, all the stories you tell yourself, what's at the very core of your being? Just let that question sit with you as we go through this, because it's at the heart of everything we're about to explore. For most of us, this is ground zero. This is our default setting. We feel like an isolated eye trying to make our way through a world that feels totally separate from us, maybe even a little cold and indifferent. And this feeling, it's the hidden source of so much of our daily struggle. Man, this quote from our source just nails that feeling, doesn't it? It's that sense that life is something happening to you, that you've got to push against it, try to control it, and just carve out your own little piece of it. It's this constant, exhausting effort, like you're in a negotiation with the entire universe. Okay, so here's where things start to get really interesting. This is the first major shift, and it's a total redefinition of our role. What if we aren't the primary doer of everything we do? What if we're more like an instrument and life itself is the one playing the music? This slide just lays it out so clearly. On the left, you've got the doer, always stressed, clinging to outcomes, trying to control every little thing. It's exhausting, right? But then look at the right. The instrument finds this incredible freedom. Action isn't a burden anymore. It's an offering. You do what needs to be done with care, but you let go of the results. Life stops being a battle you have to win and becomes this cosmic dance you get to be a part of. And that one idea, it changes everything. When that frantic need to be the doer starts to soften, even a little, your actions are no longer a chore. They become an offering. Your work itself becomes a form of worship, a meaningful contribution instead of just a stressful task on your to-do list. So I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds amazing, but how do you actually live this way? Well, to do that, you first need a map of your own inner world. You have to understand the machinery inside that makes you tick, and more often than not, makes you trip over your own feet. So according to our source, this thing we call me is really a composite of three main parts. You've got the body, just our physical self. Then there's the mind. And we all know this one. It's that restless reactor, always jumping between, ooh, I want that, and oh no, what if this happens? And then there's the intellect, that quiet, discerning guide inside us, the part that can actually see the bigger picture. And this is the key. This is where we get into trouble. Our problems start when this inner hierarchy gets flipped completely upside down. Our senses see something, the mind immediately reacts with desire or fear, and our poor intellect is just left in the dust, trying to come up with justifications for the mess later. So the path to getting things right, to finding that inner alignment, is really just about restoring the proper order. It's about letting that calm, discerning intellect take the driver's seat, where it can guide the restless mind and the reactive body. It's about leading from a place of wisdom, not just from our impulses. Now, right at the center of all this internal drama is the ego, or ahankara. And it's not some evil villain, it's more like a function. It's the mechanism that takes all of our past experiences and all of our future desires, bundles them up into a tight little knot, and then slaps a label on it that says, me. This is the engine that creates that powerful, persistent feeling of being a totally separate self. Okay, so once we've got that inner map, the real work can begin, aligning with the whole. And this isn't just some internal navel-gazing exercise. It's a reconciliation that has to happen on two fronts at the same time, inside ourselves and in how we actually engage with the world around us. I absolutely love this metaphor for internal reconciliation. Think about it. A clay pot seems to divide the space inside it from the space outside, but it's all the same space, isn't it? Or how one single sun can be reflected in 1,000 different puddles, but it's still just one sun. Our individuality is kind of like that pot or that puddle. It's a unique perspective, a temporary shape, but it's not a fundamental separation from everything else. But again, that inner understanding has to show up in the real world. This isn't about being a passive doormat. It's about disciplined, ethical engagement. It means we enter into relationships and agreements consciously, with pure intent. It means staying balanced whether we win or lose. It means having the courage to speak up or renegotiate when things go wrong. And crucially, it means having the discernment to know when to lean in and build alignment, and when it's wiser to maintain a healthy distance. So, after all this work, after redefining our function, reordering our inner world, and reconciling with the whole, what's left? What does this new state of being actually feel like when the dust settles? Well, for starters, that old story just dissolves. That foundational belief that we've carried our whole lives, that I am a separate individual all alone in here, and that my whole life has to be spent negotiating with an external universe. That entire struggle just stops. It's over. And in its place, this profound new understanding starts to dawn. The realization that I am the universe appearing as an individual, which completely reframes the whole purpose of your life. It's no longer you against the world. It is the universe, appearing as you, simply learning to align with itself. So what remains is this incredibly beautiful, peaceful state. You can participate fully in life, but without being chained to the results. You still have a unique identity, but without that painful, gnawing feeling of isolation. You can move through the world without that constant feeling of friction and resistance. Look, this journey from separation to alignment is deeply, deeply personal. The individual you are doesn't vanish. It just finds its peace with the whole that it was never really separate from in the first place. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. What does peace with the whole mean to you?